Peppa and George are waiting for Suzy Sheep to come over. Daddy Pig has promised to read them all a fairy tale. I wonder when Suzy is going to arrive, George. Here she is. Hi, Suzy. Hi. Here comes Daddy Pig. Hey kids, are you ready for a fairy tale? Yes, Daddy Pig. Yes, Daddy Pig. Okay, well, settle down. Let me open my book. Once upon a time, there was a princess, and she lived in a huge, beautiful castle. The castle was enchanted and full of many magical items. She loved her castle and the magic, but had nobody to share it with. She spent her days dreaming of playing with friends and having fun. And she became very lonely. Oh, that is sad. She's all alone. Until one day, when she decided enough was enough, she approached the magical mirror and asked to be granted a wish. Magical mirror, I wish I had someone to play with me. When suddenly the mirror started glowing. And a magical fairy floated out of the mirror. Hello there, magical fairy. Please grant my wish for me. I would love to have a friend to play all day with me. When you wake up in the morning, you shall have what you wish for. Oh, thank you, magical fairy. And suddenly the fairy was gone. The princess was so excited about waking up in the morning, she went straight to bed. And in the morning, she woke up to a loud What is that dreadful noise? Oh my! Is that a dragon? The princess quickly rushed outside to meet her new friend. Oh, so exciting. Oh gosh, I wonder what his name is. Hello there, Mr. Dragon. Would you like to play with me? Suddenly, the dragon fired his breath of fire onto all of the pretty flowers. Oh no, don't burn the flowers. Couldn't seem to stop. Those were my beautiful flowers. How could you do that? The princess then decided to try something different. She brought out her favourite toy to see if the dragon wanted to play with it. The dragon looked at the toy and the toy was incinerated by the dragon's fire. Oh no! Maybe the dragon will like some jelly. Everybody likes jelly, but the dragon didn't like the jelly. The jelly was blasted with fire! The princess was so upset that her new friend didn't want to play. She went back to the magical mirror and asked for another wish. Magical mirror, I wish for a knight in shining armour to tame the nasty dragon. Just as before, the magical fairy appeared from the mirror. Hello, magical fairy, will you grant my wish? When you wake, your wish will come true. And like that, the fairy was gone. The princess returned to bed and waited until the next morning. When the morning came, the princess began to hear laughter from outside. She raced to the balcony to see what was happening. And what she saw was amazing. The dragon had been tamed by a knight in shining armour. Oh wow! My wish has come true! Thank you for taming the dragon, Sir Knight! The knight sat bravely on the back of the tamed dragon. A slightly friendlier roar this morning. The knight landed on the grass next to the castle. The princess thanks the knight for taming the dragon. Thank you so much. Bye, Mr. Dragon. Bye. Wow, look at him fly. And the dragon flew off through the sky. The magical fairy, the knight and the princess had a wonderful day playing. And they all lived happily ever after. Well, there we go, kids. What did you think of that story? It was great, Daddy Pig! Yay!
Old King Pig was a merry old pig, and a merry old pig was he. He called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddlers three. And every fiddler he had a fine fiddle, and a very fine fiddle had he. Oh, there's none so rare as can compare with the king and his fiddlers three. King Pig was a merry old pig, and a merry old pig was he. He called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddlers three. And every fiddler had a fine fiddle, and a very fine fiddle had he. Oh, there's none so rare as can compare with the king and his fiddlers three. King Pig was a merry old pig, and a merry old pig was he. And he called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddlers three. And every fiddler he had a fine fiddle, and a very fine fiddle had he. Oh, there's none so rare as can compare with the king and his fiddlers three. Old King Pig was a merry old pig, and a merry old pig was he. He called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddlers three. Every fiddler he had a fine fiddle, and a very fine fiddle had he. Oh, there's none so rare as can compare with the king and his fiddlers three.
Hey boys and girls, today we're going to play Peppa's dress-up game. Are you ready? Let's go! So here's Peppa in a lovely green field, but we're missing some parts of the picture. Who could she be dressed as? She's wearing a lovely pink dress with a bow on. Do you know who she's dressed as? And she's got a pink bonnet on. Who can you think that wears a pink bonnet? What's this? A staff? Who has a staff? That's right, Little Bo Peep. Well done. Look, it's George in front of a castle. But we're missing some parts of the picture. What could he be dressed as? He's got silver armour on. Do you know what he's dressed as? He's holding a shield. Who would hold a shield? And a silver feathered helmet. could George be? That's right, a dashing knight. Here's Peppa in the forest. Do you know who she could be dressed as? She's got red shoes on. Who wears red shoes? And she's wearing a red hooded cloak. Do you know who she could be? She's carrying a basket. Who could she be? It's Little Red Riding Hood, of course. Look, it's George on an island. What could he be dressed as? He's wearing white and blue stripes. He's holding a spyglass. He's wearing an eye patch. Who would wear an eye patch? And he's wearing a pirate's hat. He must be a pirate. Here's Peppa in a pretty garden. I wonder what she's dressed as. Oh, she's wearing a lovely crown. She's holding a magic wand. What do you think she's dressed as? She has fairy wings. She must be a fairy. Look, it's George, and he's in space with the stars and planets. He's wearing space boots and gloves. What could he be dressed as? And a space helmet. He must be an astronaut. Wow, Peppa is on stage in the theatre. What do you think she's dressed as? She's wearing a red leotard. Look, a pretty tutu. What could she be dressed as? A tiara. She must be a ballerina. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you had fun. Bye!